Hey, what's happening? This is Grant Luna with Fidelity National Title. And for today's Tech Tuesday video, I'll be showing you two different ways to create seller net sheets within Fidelity Agent One, a free app for you to download, start using in basically every single aspect of your business. So whether you're looking for seller net sheets just to handle your listings, or you're trying to lead generate and open houses with monthly payment estimates, rent versus buy calculators, if you're looking for marketing material, basically anything you might need day to day as a realtor, this app probably has something for you. But today, like I said, what I wanted to focus on is how to do two versions of a seller net sheet. So example A is going to be just a pretty standard situation. Maybe you have a listing presentation coming up, or you're already working with a seller client and you want to let them know what they'll be gaining from listing their house with you and selling for a potential price, and you already have that price in mind. That's example case A. Example case B will be a situation where maybe you're sitting down with the seller. Maybe they're kind of all over the place on price, and maybe so are you, but maybe they have a general sense of what they want to walk away with. So maybe they have a minimum amount that they need to gain from selling. You could generate a net sheet from that as well. So let's jump into it right away. So the first thing is going to be just generating a basic seller net sheet. And so within the Fidelity Agent One app, and by the way, if you don't have Fidelity Agent One, like I said, great app. There's a link in the description to an easy to follow walkthrough to set up this app for yourself. It's a desktop app and a phone app. I'll be showing the desktop version. I think the phone version, the desktop version functionally are pretty similar. Just kind of comes down to personal preference. I'm on a computer right now, so I'm doing it this way, but mechanically it's going to be pretty similar to a phone. So what you'll want to do first to do a seller net sheet is make sure you have seller selected right here on the computer. It's up at the top. On the phone, it's on the bottom tab, basically, of your phone. It's going to say seller. Click on that. So next, you have the ability to enter in some of this information on a calculator and generate a net sheet really easily. So the first would be the sales price. Like I said, situation A, you have a sales price already in mind. You can throw that in here. So let's just say $900,000. You can include the broker fee. So let's say you're doing 2.5% each side. You can put in 5% here. Maybe you already walked around and talked to that seller and you're going to redo the bathroom to get it a little bit up to date. Maybe it's $2,500 for that repair. You can throw that in here. Property taxes are going to be included, but we're going to get back to that in a couple of seconds. The seller loan balance. So obviously, to be aware of how much someone can make when selling their home, you also need to be aware of how much debt they still have on that property so they can actually get a true net income or net gain on the sale of their house. So what you can actually do is, one way would be asking the seller, right, and saying, hey, how much do you have remaining on your loan? They might not know that. So in that case, what you can actually do is click add address up here at the top. And then when you do that, and you can enter in an address, and you can click on it in the drop down, it's going to actually first bring in the estimated property tax for that property. It's using this technology called HomeLink, where it's going to be able to find from public record data the property tax information and the loan information for that address. So here, this is the estimated annual property tax that this person is paying on their property. You can select next. Then it's going to say we found a loan recorded on your property in January 2014 for $75,000. And so what this is attempting to do is back calculate how much they have remaining on their loan. And that's going to be based off the interest rate. So the combination of the years past and the interest rate is going to give a remaining loan balance. So from here, it's actually going to give you what the average is at the time for another situation where maybe that seller doesn't really remember what their interest rate is on their loan. So from here, you can just put in what the market average was at the time, 4.165. So I'll just do 4% for easy numbers. I believe also too, if you wanted to do some digging, we can find some backend or data services that Fidelity has if you're looking to be super exact. So next you can hit compute here. Now it's going to say what are the estimated loan balances for this. You can select use estimate, and now this number is going to be automatically populated in here as well as here for the property taxes. Lastly, city transfer tax. So let's say that this listing is in San Pedro, which is part of Los Angeles City. So it's actually going to be part of Los Angeles, and it's going to have this transfer tax amount here. If it was part of like Palos Verdes or Long Beach or something like that, you would have essentially escaped needing to include property taxes. So then you can hit select compute, and now it's going to give you the net at close amount for this homeowner. So this is great here. You have this information, but it would be even better if this was in a template that you could easily send to your client or maybe bring to a listing presentation. And what's nice is Fidelity Agent One does that work for you. So if you hit share or print PDF right here on the computer, On the phone, it's at the top right of the screen. It looks like a square with an arrow pointing upwards. You can click on that and then select Send Full Report. On the computer, all you have to do is hit Share or Print PDF, and it's going to generate a PDF net sheet for you, basically. Going to have something that looks like this, going to be all the closing costs broken down, which, by the way, you can edit. If you want more information on that, let me know. And what's also nice too is you have a couple of different options here, right? So first case would be maybe you're sitting down with a seller that speaks a different language primarily. So what's really nice is this app makes it easy to translate these net sheets. So let's say that I'm speaking with a client and they're primarily like Chinese speaking, for example. So I can click English right here and I can select Chinese, and it's going to translate this net sheet into Chinese for me. Makes it really easy when working with different types of clients. So now I have it right here, automatically generated on the phone. Once again, you can hit that share button at the top right of the screen and text it to a client or send it as an email. You can download it as a PDF, like I said, bring it as a part of your listing agreement or your listing presentation. So another thing that you can also do is choose a different design. So maybe you don't like this one and maybe you want to make it look a little bit different. You have these options here on the side of the screen. On the phone, you should see something at the bottom, either the bottom left or bottom right, I believe, that says templates. You can choose those templates, and same thing here. So let's say I want to use this template. I can click on it. And now I can actually import some photos in this specific template. So I wanted to show you what that looks like. So right now I don't have any photos uploaded, so nothing's going to appear here, but I can click Edit Property. Then I can choose Property Photos. So I'm just going to choose some from my computer really quick. So let me just crop this. Hit done. You can even sign yourself if you wanted to. So I could just come in here. Let's see how good my digital signatures are these days. Not terrible. So save. Let's update. And now this same net sheet is going to be generated for me, but now it's going to include these property photos and my signature down here at the bottom of the screen. You could have them sign too if you wanted to, theoretically, but just an option. So this is option A for seller net sheets. Very simple case. It's going to have the net at close amount here, other closing costs, and like I said, very easy to translate. So let's throw this in Spanish really quick just to show you how easily you can create these and customize these basically on the fly. So now this is in Spanish for me. If I wanted it back in English, I can go ahead and choose English. This will be translated once again. So awesome net sheets, really easy to create. Situation 2 would be maybe you're sitting with a seller and they have a net goal in mind for the property. So now what you can select is calculators at the top of the page on the desktop version of Fidelity Agent 1, calculators on the bottom of the phone app version. So I can select calculators and then I can select sell to net right here. So what I can do now is do a net sheet for that same property here. It's going to bring in the property taxes once again and that same estimated loan balance calculator. So I can put in these estimated annual property taxes. I'm going to put in 4% again for this loan that was found in 2014. Hit compute. Let's use that in the estimate. It gets brought in automatically for me. We use $2,500 for repairs. We chose broker fee of 5%. So this example case would be someone sitting down and going, you know what? The sales price isn't super important. You know, we have a range that we're okay with, but we need to, net $800,000 and able to, buy some property out of state that we want to retire to or something like that. Maybe there's an upleg situation. So what you can actually do in this example case is simply put in 800,000 for the net goal, select compute, and now it'll tell you the minimum sales price needed once baking in commissions and escrow fees and title fees and everything associated with the real estate transaction and show, okay, what do we need to sell this property for to basically make your situation happen for you. So this is nice because maybe the comps are all at, $1 million and you're looking and saying, hey, you're going to be good regardless, right? Like even if we put it on the market for a while and need to do a price reduction, you're still going to get your number. So we can even go on the lower end, see what happens, but ultimately just another nice resource for you to maybe sit down with people, have that conversation with people, and you can have this phone app up as you're talking to somebody, just run them through an example case. So ultimately, the fluency with an app like this is going to enable you to be able to do these things on the fly a little bit better. So just take some time and practice to get used to these things. Same thing, every single calculator within this app, if it's a seller calculator, buyer calculator, whatever it is, can be made into a template really easily for you. So once again, I can select share print PDF. It's going to create a net sheet again for me now with this example case of showing the sales price of $918,000 and the net at close amount of $800,000. So ultimately, these are two apps within Fidelity Agent One to hopefully make your life a little bit easier. If you want some more hands-on training with this app and sitting down and going over all the finer details, obviously you can reach out to me. Would be happy to hop on a Zoom or meet in person. Let me know. Hopefully we can sit down together soon.